In recent years, travel ball has been the way to get recruited. If you weren't on a travel team, you were invisible. But in 2025, that's not really the case anymore. In reality, college coaches don't have time to watch every travel tournament. Instead, they're focusing on showcases like Perfect Game, PBR, and USA baseball events. Because these events put all the best players in one place, making it easier for scouts to evaluate talent. And more players are getting recruited through social media. If you got highlights, Rapsodo, TrackMan data, and solid numbers, you can get noticed without traveling every weekend. And there may be a trend growing in recruiters that believe high school baseball plus showcases plus private training is a better option. Instead of spending thousands of dollars on travel fees, more players are focusing on skill development and hitting the right events to get noticed. Which I don't know about you all, but my son has been playing travel baseball since 8U. He's 13U this year. And within the last year or so, I've been questioning the same thing. Like, should I invest that money in getting him training? I mean, we work on stuff at home, just like I'm sure all of you do. But there's something to be said about going to a trainer that does this for a living and understands how to coach and build the right skill sets in our players. I think that long term, you can show coaches that you have a foundation of work ethic and development and you're working towards being a better baseball player. I think that carries a lot of weight. And there's the other part of this conversation of travel baseball versus no travel baseball and additional training is what type of long-term damage are we doing to kids by playing them all year, sometimes 80 plus games in a season with little downtime, you know? And when do they get a chance to experience other sports and become a complete athlete? So there's a larger conversation around that for sure, but Major League pitchers getting Tommy John surgery is up nearly 30% since 2016. Some 14 and 15-year-olds are already needing elbow reconstruction. It's sad to see, and the biggest reason is overuse. Some of the reasons they had listed on some of these studies were year-round baseball with no rest. Players are throwing every month of the year, not giving their arms time to recover. Velocity obsession. I mean, you know, it's fun to throw heat, but everyone wants to throw 90 plus as a teenager, but when you max out your arm before it's fully developed, something's going to give. And then ignoring pitch limits. Some travel teams care more about winning than player health, letting kids throw way more than what's recommended, which I see a lot when I'm coaching travel ball tournaments on the weekends. And, you know, I'll see a kid out there 3 times in a weekend. You know, I'm not keeping track of his pitch counts for sure. You know, I'm not going to say everybody's doing anything wrong. I think there's a lot of coaches out there that do things the right way. I think more coaches do things the right way than not. And some of these studies are just studies, I get that, and the data is the data, but, you know, I think if you look at it like this, right, in 2024, the number of professional pitchers undergoing Tommy John surgery saw a significant decline with 19 cases reported. So good, compared to 88 in 2023 and 96 in 2022. So it went from 96 to 88 to 19. So that sounds good on the surface, right? But despite the increase, the overall prevalence of Tommy John surgeries remains notable. As of 2024, over 30% of pitchers on major league rosters have undergone the procedure at some point in their career. And it's not uncommon. Pitchers go through that all the time. You know, my son was at a couple camps. We went to a MPA camp with Tom House in Ohio, which is a blast, but there was kids there rehabbing, and they were 16, 17 with scars on their arms from Tommy John. And, you know, they'll probably bounce back and be great. But I don't know, is it the right path, the wrong path? I don't think there's a right answer. I think that there's different paths for every player. But anyway, I got off topic. Back to what I was saying. This Major League Baseball study highlighted a rise in pitcher injuries, increasing from 212 in 2005 to 485 in 2024. So you can say, yeah, from 2022 to 2024, there's been a decline in cases reported, but since 2005, it's pretty much doubled. So the number of cases have exponentially doubled. So the decrease, the percentage decrease is you know, it's notable for sure, but the amount of cases have more than doubled since 2005. So if you said in 2000, you said we had 212 cases and then they went down and then they weren't going up, cool. But you have 485 in 2024 as opposed to 212 in 2005. So there's a lot going on there. But anyway, I ramble. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are. If you have kids in travel ball, if you have, are you a coach or a recruiter? What are your thoughts, especially if you're a recruiter? I'd love to hear somebody chime in on that. Or if you know somebody's at a recruiter, or if you know things about recruiting, how does that work? chime in. Do recruiters look for more development, or do they want them to compete year-round? Let me know. Let us know. Let's have a conversation about it. I love talking about this stuff, so I'm going to keep uploading more. Until then, I will talk to you all soon. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.